Alright, hey there Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here. We're back once again for another solo Let's Play of Echoes of Wisdom. If you did miss out during the last video, well, we just went and opened up with a said mini rift area around within here of the Hebra Mountain, and we found more Atri's friends, which they were able to restore a little bit more of what this area has to offer. And not only that, we are still going to be going and following throughout a said type of Yeti character by the name of Conde, which he's on the lookout for where his said brother is going to be, which, funny enough, we will be meeting up with that said brother that is going to be happening. And if you guys don't know who Conde is, well, he is that same type of Yeti character that we met all the way back throughout our time of the Blizzard portion parts of our time throughout this Hebra Mountain, which he did go and take care of us for a little bit until the Blizzard actually started to die down. But something has maybe went out of my way to tell me is that I think Conde's brother may probably be acting a little bit differently, because I know that every other type of time that we've always went and headed off to a new destination before heading on into with anything restoring of the different set rifts and stuff, they always act a little bit differently, because I know that, like, with our time of having to meet up with Jabu, like, I know that he wasn't really active as himself as of late, and we had to do a battle with him, and then after, once we went and restored out with the area, we actually did go and meet up with the real Jabu, so something's going to tell me that we're going to have to do a boss battle or something with him later. But also as well, since we are still continuing throughout our time of the said type of cave portion parts here of the Hebra Mountain, there is going to be some other different type of said puzzles that we will be having to interact with, such as, for example, here, we are going to have to go and do some sort of geyser puzzle, which we are going to have to use our said keys to get around through some different places. And not only that, but there will be said different type of gauntlet battles that we'll have to go through, some of the different type of rock climbing portion parts here within some of the different parts here of the said cave that we'll also have to go and do. But just be a little bit careful of the said type of rock climbing portion part of the said cave, because there will be situations where we are going to have to dodge around on some said icicles, and not only that, but also dodge around on some of these different said type of snowballs that we have been seeing so far within our time here of the Hebra Mountain. And now, every time that you do go and head through a certain type of portion part, like going through like the outside area of the Hebra Mountain, you may actually come across some of the different said type of heart pieces. And if you guys do remember, just around what did here at the very beginning of the said video, we just went and got ourselves now with another said heart piece, which there will be another one when we actually do go ahead into the outer parts of the Hebra Mountain again. And, you know, it kind of feels a little bit strange to me, though, here at this type of said Hebra Mountain snowy area part. Kind of feels almost a little bit like Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and going through, like, that area of, like, heading throughout the said type of speed pillar and trying to meet up with, like, Team Galactic and stuff. Because it seems like trying to go through that type of same mountain back in, like, in the Pokemon games kind of had, like, different type of effects every time that you went through, like, those different type of areas, right? Because, like, I know that when you start going up into, like, the much more, like, higher portion parts of that type of said mountain there, you can actually start getting into, like, some different type of blizzard effects and whatnot. Kind of happens here a little bit, like, in this area, too, here in Echoes of Wisdom. So be careful of these type of said ice geysers in particular, because these ones are actually going to cause you to have some sort of ice effect, and we don't really want to get ourselves encased by ice, or else we will fall completely all the way back down to the very beginning part of this whole entire little puzzle here. But anyways, we're finally out of that, and that does mean that there's another exit portion that we can go and do, so hooray! And I'm pretty certain, I think by now, once we go and head on out of here, we will be able to get to see where that other type of said heart piece will be. So, while you are still climbing up throughout this type of said mountain, there is said two different destinations. Well, one destination, what we are going to be doing is using our said water blocking tactic, and head all the way over here to this type of blurry side of where this type of said mountain portion is going to be. Fall down through here, and you should be able to come across with another said heart piece. So, that is going to be our second one so far within here of the Hebra Mountain that we can go and find. I don't know if there's any more others than that, but we will have to come back to this at some point down the road. And if you guys don't know about how Echoes of Wisdom is going to work with the other different finding of the heart pieces and whatnot, or any of the other different echoes, there will be the Great Deku Tree at some point, and he will actually guide us into trying to figure out where the rest of the other different heart pieces are and echoes are going to be searching for. So I won't be going after all the said echoes, but I'll hopefully try to go after most of all the other said different heart pieces as we go. So it looks like Conde's trying to interact with his brother there, and really, to be honest with you, he's not going to be acting as his normal self. So Conde doesn't really know that right away, because he hasn't really experienced anything like us from before, where we had to go and meet up with some of these different set characters, and they were always acting like a clone version, right? Like, we met up with Link, he was a clone version of himself, like, quite a bit of sometimes. Had to go through Jabu Jabu originally, like, the last time, and had to go through a boss battle with him, so pretty much sure that with Conde here, gonna be acting as, like, the same type of situation. So we got a little bit more of the same type of cave portion part here. Now we actually got some snow boulders, so have to be a little bit careful with these guys. But again, mind you, if you have any type of fire enemies, such as like with the Nigsoul or something, you could actually be able to go and burn those guys down and really not have all that too much of a problem. So just keep on heading up on some of these different type of rock ports here, and just be a little bit safe around with it at a time. As I say that, I get myself a little bit injured. There we go. That kind of works out a little bit better. Yeah, just kind of burn those as we go. And there is going to be a set type of special chest that will be around within here. So what we are going to have to do is use some of our different set ice boulder, or well, not ice boulder, but ice block tactics that we're going to have to do. And reach all the way up here. Just be a little bit careful. And let's see what we got. Got ourselves with a monster fang. Interesting. Okay, so let's just go and keep on moving ahead out of here and climb up this type of said other ladder, which we can actually go and find a little bit of a hot spring here. And we also got some new enemies as well. These guys may seem a little bit of the similar type of enemies that we see before back in the Elden Temple, but however, they're going to be known as something else. They're going to be known as the Temper Tweezless. Okay, so now we got that guy there. We're going to kind of remove some of our different echoes that we have, and let's just go and make sure to heal ourselves back up. Now, if you guys don't know, today is the day that, since it is Friday, I am going to be doing some more retro game hunting, and I'm going to try and see if I can find myself with Final Fantasy 3 for the DS, which, aka Final Fantasy 3 is Final Fantasy 6, which I am very much looking forward to see how the DS version of Final Fantasy 6 is actually going to be playing out as. But there's Conde right there, and this man is just not having a great time, is he? He's trying to, like, interact with his brother, and things are just not going out the way as it is. And now he's going to be in this type of sad state, but not to worry, Conde. We'll make sure that we'll get your brother back, and we'll try to make sure that he'll try to hopefully act a little bit more nicer if that is his actual true self or not. Because, again, we haven't really got to see what his eyes are yet. Because I know that before, anytime that we got to see a character's eyes, normally if they're like red looking and kind of more of this purplish type of body that they have, then they'll be more of the evil portion of themselves. But off he goes, and that's going to be an end for us as well, because we're going to end it off here. And thank you guys so much for going, for watching, and of course, peace.